Labour betrayal exposed. Good evening, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. Labour has been called out in the House of the Commons by Tory MP Katie Lam. She's exposed, as I have on this channel previously, the India-UK trade deal giving preferential treatment to Indian workers and allowing British companies to undercut native British workers, which is a betrayal. Let's call it what it is. It's a betrayal by our government, putting foreign interests ahead of the British people and British taxpayer. So I'm going to play this clip now.
Unlike most other countries, India has a long-standing policy of using trade deals to try to secure favourable treatment in the immigration system. This deal, unfortunately, is no different.
Just so you know, the Prime Minister of India is an Eth Nat. He views the Indian diaspora all over the world as an extension of India and part of his foreign policy. If we look at this document here, it spells it out very clear. The real impact of the diaspora in politics is funding, campaigning and spreading India's influence. As overseas Indians become more prominent in their host societies, many have begun to take more of an interest in politics, both in their new countries and back home. So political parties, Indian and foreign, are wooing them more keenly. Mr. Modi and his BJP are acutely aware of this. Their election manifesto in 2014 called the diaspora a vast reservoir of articulate, the national interests and affairs globally. This will be harnessed for strengthening brand India. The next year's party's General Secretary says the BJP saw the diaspora as India's voice abroad in a way that the Jewish community looks out for Israel's interests in the United States. So, the British Prime Minister is happy to call British people who think that the British people are a distinct ethnic category far-right bigots, but get into the bed with the Eth Nats on the world stage. This is what Katie Lam is exposing here, and that's what I'm exposing on this channel as well. The Labour Party is not for the working class. It never was.
Under the terms of this agreement, Indian companies will be able to transfer their workers to this country far more easily. And once they're here, those workers will be able to avoid national insurance for up to 3 years, needing only to pay into the Indian social security system, payments which are, unsurprisingly, much lower than here in the UK. This national insurance holiday will make it much cheaper to hire Indian workers, especially in fields like IT and engineering, than to hire domestic talent. Imagine a British IT firm set to hire a computer programmer for £60,000 a year. To hire them, an employer must pay £8,250 in national insurance on top of that salary. That totals £68,250. Their Indian competitor, to hire somebody on the same salary, would only need to pay about £1,470 to the Indian Employee Provident Fund, mandatory contributions to which are capped at 15,000 rupees a month, or about £120. That totals £61,470. So under the government's deal, it would be at least 10% cheaper to hire an Indian worker over a British one. This is absurd. With pleasure.
I will refrain from giving way. Does she also agree with me that the employees of Indian companies who are sent here to work for 3 years and then maybe stay on, they normally would be not paid the British salary level, and they would be happy to accept a lower salary. So as well as saving on national insurance, these companies will be saving a lot more money by underpaying their employees.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I thank the member for his intervention. It's a very important point because, as I'm about to talk about, we have double contribution conventions with other companies, but with other countries, but not with other countries with economies like India's, where there are so many people, well north of 1 billion people, who would be happy to do these jobs for much lower salaries than our workers at home would expect. So, as I say, it is true that we have double contribution conventions with other countries. These aim to simplify intra-company transfers for international businesses. However, these agreements are usually struck with countries that have compatible economies, similar education outcomes, and
Yeah, something like that would only work with something with a economy of scale, something of comparable size. So if we'd done it with France, for example, or Germany, similar countries, similar GDP, it would work. Not with a superpower or rising superpower like India. It doesn't work the same way. The smaller country is always going to get the worst deal. We get less out of this Indian trade deal. This is one of the reasons why the Tories were delaying the trade deal, because they would not concede and they would not yield to the demands of the larger country. In short, putting British interests first. This Labour government isn't doing that. This is a bad deal for Britain. It's a bad deal for the workers of Britain as well. What I state, we are in a country where the Labour Party is signing away workers' rights, and the Tories are actually trying to protect them.
Sure is a funky old house, ain't it?
Just try and wrap your head around that. It's absolutely insane. Anyway, we'll continue.
comparable social security systems, like Japan or Canada. India stands alone as by far the largest and least wealthy country on the list. In exchange for a deal with India, this government has chosen to sell out skilled British workers who've worked hard to get where they are by allowing Indian firms to undercut them. We will see highly skilled British workers in cutting-edge fields like engineering priced out by Indian workers. Given the relative markets and educational systems in the UK and India, we should not expect this always to be a like-for-like swap in terms of talent. This is a model that we've already seen take hold in the United States. There, Indian consultancy firms lease their workers to American companies who are then able to pay an Indian worker far less than they would need to pay an American. The result has been a massive expansion in the number of lower-cost Indian workers at the expense of American workers. Most other countries are perfectly happy to strike trade deals without forcing us to undercut our own workforce. This government should have expected India to do the same.
I agree, completely agree with Katie Lam on this, so we're going to end this video here. Just remember that Labour abandoned the working class and the working people of Britain a generation ago. They have not got your interests at heart, they have the corporate interests at heart. This is the issue. This was completely tone deaf. This was a foreseeable error from the Labour Party, and yet again, they've walked right into it. This is a disgrace. This is a national outrage. Now, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. I will see you in the next video later on today. Have a good day. Thank you for watching.